Hey guys, welcome back to the library. I'm Miss Bowie, and today we're going to talk about my favorite all-time genre, fantasy. I love fantasy. I love everything about it. I love the magic. I love the imaginary worlds, wizards, dragons, magical powers. I love everything about it. And so today I'm going to tell you about 5 books that I've read, and I'm going to introduce you just a little bit and hopefully just enough that you'll want to read them too. Hey guys, the first book we're going to talk about is The Demon King. It was written by Cinda Williams Chima, and it's actually one of 4 in her 7 Rounds series. I love these books, and I couldn't put them down. In the first book, we meet Hans Alistair, who's also known as Hunt Alone, who wears these magic cuffs. Hence his other nickname, Cuffs. He is one of the main characters and is a fantastic character. I think that you guys will really enjoy traveling along with him and growing with him as he soon realizes that he is magical. And this is the part where he learns that he is magic, and I'm going to read to you. Hans Alistair shook his head, backing away until he came up against a sleeping bench. Alina came and stood in front of him. He felt cornered even though he towered over her. I made your bracelets, she said, touching his cuffs. They absorb magic, your own as well as any used against you. They protect you and also prevent you from using the magic yourself, accidentally or on purpose. They keep you from giving off an aurora of magic, storing it in an amulet. All of the gifted descendants of Waterloo have worn them. From that first child of Algers, she paused, then added, his name was Alistair. In this book, we also meet Fire Dancer and Princess Anna Mariana, who is the future queen and is being threatened. And of course, she gets help from Fire Dancer and Hans Alistair. So the second book that we're going to talk about is The Red Pyramid, written by Rick Riordan. These books are fantastic. I'm sure that somebody has read one of his books. They're all phenomenal, they're all amazing. I think it's interesting to note that he was a teacher before he started writing, and when he got his contract, he didn't think he could be a good teacher and a good author, so he gave up teaching to devote all his time to becoming a fantastic writer, and boy, has he done a good job. I really like the way these books go back and forth between Carter and Sadie. The beginning of the book is really funny, so I'll read that to you because I think it's a great hook. If you're listening to this story, you're already in danger. Sadie and I might be your only chance. Go to the school. Find the locker. I won't tell you which locker or which school, because if you're the right person, you'll find it. The combination is 13, 32, 33. By the time you finish listening, you'll know what those numbers mean. Just remember, the story we're about to tell you isn't complete. How it ends depends on you. So the second book I want to talk to you about is The False Princess, written by Alyce O'Neill. This is actually O'Neill's only book that she's written. I think she does a really good job. This book is actually about a princess. And who doesn't want to be a princess, right? Wake up one day and find out that you're the princess? Well, this does the exact opposite. Nalia is the princess. And what happens is she wakes up one day and is summoned by her parents, the king and the queen, and she finds out that she is really not the princess. So I'm going to read a little bit about this book because I really enjoyed the opposite happening, her being the fake princess. He stopped short, his eyes fixed on mine, and when he spoke again, he sounded tired, like a man at the end of a long journey. We hid the princess away so that she would be safe until after her 16th birthday, and we replaced her with another baby, a false princess, you. I think this book has it all. I think it's a great book, and I think that some of you will relate to it. The fourth book we're going to talk about is The Glass Throne, written by Sarah Maas. In this book, we meet Selena, and there's also the character Kael and Prince Dorian. Selena is actually the most notorious assassin in this story. What's fantastic about this book, there are more, and she does a great job. I think that you would enjoy this book because there's so much action, and of course, she's an assassin and she wants to be freed. So she takes this job in order to be free after 4 years of doing the king's bidding as his personal assassin. Watch your mouth before I throw you back in the mines, the brown-eyed captain said. Oh, I don't think you'll do that. And why is that? K.L. replied. Dorian strode to his throne and sat down, his sapphire eyes bright. She looked from one man to the other and squared her shoulders. Because there's something you want from me. Something you want badly enough to come here yourselves. I'm not an idiot. Though I was foolish enough to be captured, I can see that this is some sort of secret business. Why else would you leave the capital and venture this far? You've been testing me all this time to see if I'm physically and mentally sound. Well, I know that I'm still sane, and I'm not broken, despite what the incident at the wall might suggest. So I demand to be told while you're here, and what services you wish of me. If I'm not destined for the gallows. The men exchanged glances. Dorian steepled his fingers. I have a proposition for you. Tessa blinked dizzily. The first moment after a change was always like blinking water out of your eyes after submerging yourself in a bath. She looked down at herself. Her new body was almost frail, and the fabric of her dress hung loose, pooling on the floor at her feet. Her hands clasped in front of her were pale and thin, with chapped tips and bitten nails, unfamiliar alien hands. What is your name? Mrs. Black demanded. She had risen to her feet and was looking down at Tessa with her pale, burning eyes. She looked almost hungry. Tessa didn't have to answer. The girl whose skin she wore answered for her, speaking through her the way spirits were said to speak through their mediums. But Tessa hated to think about it that way. The change was so much more intimate, so much more frightening than that. Emma, the voice said, coming from Tessa. Miss Emma Baylis, ma'am. And who are you, Emma Baylis? The last book that we're going to talk about is The Clockwork Angel, written by Cassandra Clare. Now, what's so interesting about these books is it's actually a prequel to The Mortal Instruments, The City of Bones, which I've already read, and I have enjoyed all of those books as well. These are from the Infernal Device trilogy. There are so many characters, Tessa and Will and Jim and Jesse and Nate. So many characters that I think that you all would identify with. In this story, Tessa starts off, she's living with her aunt, and well, her parents die, and the aunt dies, and so Nate sends off for her. And when she gets into London, she is actually kidnapped by the Dark Sisters, who take her because they know that she is a power. And here we go again with our magic powers. And boy, does this book really get into it. This book has everything from the shadow hunters to vampires to all sorts of different creatures and fantastic worlds that I think you would really enjoy learning and reading about. So I really think that you should read this book, and then I'll read a little bit from it. Hey guys, so that ends our fantasy book talk. I hope you've enjoyed them. Remember those titles were The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima, The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan, The False Princess by Olish O'Neill, The Glass Throne by Sarah Maas, and last but not least, The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I hope you've enjoyed our class, and I'll see you next week. See you later.